Have you ever felt like you're playing a role? Smiling when you don't feel happy? Agreeing when you want to disagree? Pretending everything is fine just to make it through another day? You wake up, put on the same face, say the right things, and move through the world like everything is in place. But deep down, something feels off, like you're not really you. That mask you wear, it may not be who you truly are. Carl Jung had a name for it: the persona, a carefully constructed image we show the world, and the first layer that separates us from our true self. From the moment we're born, we're taught how to behave. Be polite, don't talk too much, don't show anger, be strong, fit in. Slowly we begin to shape ourselves, not based on who we are, but on who the world wants us to be. We create a version of ourselves that feels acceptable. That version is what Carl Jung called the persona. It's the face you show at work, the version of you that smiles at strangers, the one that posts perfect moments on social media, the one that says, "I'm fine," even when you're not. The persona helps us function in society. It protects us. It helps us belong. But here's the danger. The more you identify with the mask, the more you forget who's behind it. How many times have you said something just to avoid conflict? How often have you hidden your real thoughts out of fear of judgment? How many times have you felt fake in your own skin? When the persona becomes your identity, authenticity is lost. You stop living as yourself and start performing a role you didn't even choose. The persona can bring approval, but it cannot bring peace. It can help you blend in, but it cannot help you feel whole. If the persona is the mask you wear to be accepted, then the shadow is everything you've hidden to avoid being rejected. The parts of you that were once natural, but were labeled too much, too emotional, too loud, too different. Maybe you were curious, but told to stay quiet. Maybe you were sensitive, but told to toughen up. Maybe you felt anger, but learned to suppress it. So you buried those parts of yourself. You pushed them into the dark. But what we hide doesn't disappear, it waits. Jung called this hidden part of us the shadow. It lives in your unconscious, and it shows itself in your sudden outbursts, in your jealousy, in your defensiveness, in the patterns you don't understand but keep repeating. The shadow isn't evil, it's simply ignored. It holds your pain, yes, but also your creativity, your authenticity, your forgotten strength. When you deny your shadow, it controls you from behind the scenes. But when you face it, truly face it, you begin to take back your power. To become whole, you must stop running from the darkness and start listening to what it's been trying to tell you all along. Beneath the mask, beyond the shadow, lies something deeper. The self, your true self. Not the version shaped by expectations, not the one hiding in fear, but the whole of who you are. Light and dark, strength and vulnerability, known and unknown. Carl Jung believed that the purpose of life isn't to be perfect, it's to be whole. And that journey toward wholeness? He called it individuation. Individuation is not about becoming someone new. It's about remembering who you've always been, the person hidden beneath the conditioning, the roles, the fears. It is a process, a slow, often uncomfortable path of self-discovery, where you confront your shadows, question your masks, and reclaim the parts of yourself that were lost along the way. It's not easy. You may face truths you've long avoided. You may grieve for versions of yourself that were never real. But with every step, you feel lighter, freer, more alive. You begin to make choices that feel true to you. You speak not to impress, but to express. You stop asking, "Who should I be?" and start living as who you are. This is not the end of the journey. It's the beginning of becoming real. Most of what shapes you isn't visible. It doesn't come from logic or even memory. It comes from deeper layers of the mind, the unconscious. Carl Jung discovered that beneath our personal experiences lies a universal blueprint, a shared psychological inheritance he called the collective unconscious. And from this collective unconscious, powerful forces emerge. Archetypes. Archetypes are ancient patterns of thought, emotion, and behavior. They live in myths, symbols, stories, and in you, the hero who overcomes obstacles, the caregiver who puts others first, the rebel who challenges the rules, the sage who seeks truth. You don't choose them. They arise within you. They shape how you love, how you fight, how you dream. But here's the danger. When you over-identify with one archetype, you ignore the others, and your personality becomes one-dimensional. The hero becomes exhausted. The caregiver forgets themselves. The rebel burns bridges. The sage isolates. Finding your true self means recognizing which archetypes dominate your life and integrating the ones you've neglected. Look at your dreams. Notice your patterns. What stories pull you in? What roles do you repeat? These are not random. They are clues. The deeper you understand these forces, the more power you have to shape your own destiny. What happens if you never take the journey inward? If you keep the mask on, keep the shadow buried, and ignore the forces shaping your life? Carl Jung was clear. Avoiding the path of individuation doesn't keep you safe. It keeps you lost. You may follow the rules. You may meet expectations. You may even achieve success. But deep inside, something will always feel wrong. A quiet emptiness. A dull ache that no achievement can silence. It shows up as anxiety with no clear cause. As relationships that never quite work. As a life that feels like it's happening to you, not for you. You repeat the same mistakes. Sabotage your own happiness. Wake up wondering, is this really all there is? And the worst part? You may not even realize it's happening because the persona is convincing, because the world rewards the performance. But your soul knows, and it will speak through illness, through restlessness, through dreams that disturb or inspire. Avoiding your true self doesn't lead to peace, it leads to numbness. A life lived on the surface, while your depth remains untouched. Finding your true self is not a destination, it's a lifelong journey. It doesn't happen in a moment of clarity, but in the quiet courage to face yourself day after day, to remove the mask, to sit with your shadow, to listen to the parts of you that have been ignored, silenced, or denied. Most people will never take this path. It's easier to fit in, to perform, to pretend. But that comfort comes at a cost. The cost of your authenticity, the cost of never truly knowing who you are. Carl Jung taught us that real freedom doesn't come from becoming what others expect, but from becoming whole. That means embracing both your light and your darkness, owning your truth, even when it's messy, living not as a reflection of others, but as a reflection of your essence. This path requires courage, courage to unlearn, courage to feel deeply, courage to change. But on the other side is something extraordinary, a life that is yours, a voice that is authentic, a self that is real. So now the question is yours to answer. Are you ready to take off the mask? If this message resonates with you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Your journey to authenticity starts with one brave step.